Hi, my friends. This will be a little talk about the differences between moon and moat. Moon is a fabric spandex portable public art sculpture that's temporary, and moat is a series of sculptured parks which are permanent. Moon is supposed to find a way to help the world bring a cause into birth so that nations all over simultaneously can demilitarize. So without any militaries, there'd be no war. And here are some thoughts on some further investigations that are aesthetic investigations to these two projects, which are two different kinds of utopias, but they're interlinked, they're interconnected. M.O.A.T is any history with a happy ending, and it brings about a sensitivity to other kinds of people. M.O.A.T is about enthusiastic, optimistic, hopeful, and friendly historians. I think of these historians as tzaddiks, or tzaddikim, which are kind of like the righteous, good teachers that guide people into finding a better way to live their lives so that they'd be happier. So the sensitivity is to these historian people too. Increased sensitivity. There's also a subcategory of the M.O.A.T project, which I call COTE, C-O-T-E. The monumental outrageousness around Texas is M.O.A.T, but COTE does not stand for anything as an acronym. It just is called COTE. And I made it so that they'd rhyme. COTE actually is kind of like a C, I believe, in the French language as well. So the COTE project, or the COTE subcategory, acts as signs or suggestions by certain authors. They can be historians, and these signs are what one can follow so as to improve a history in order to make it happier. So by having certain signs happen and then following those signs, kind of like on a street, but more metaphorically speaking, you can get to certain pathways which, when followed, it will make the history that you're currently in a happier history. So there's a wisdom to the COTE signs if you follow them, which the author peppers in a text. So the COTE is a guiding way of happy M.O.A.T histories. M.O.A.T, which is the larger structure of the COTE idea, the monumental outrageousness around Texas, is as the void into which money for good charities goes after it shapes up into a form from a substance. May that substance be money or other kinds of matters. So moon is not a void, but can be thought of as like the atoms. I'm harnessing all my Lucretian powers, but from the philosopher Lucretius, who said that the material world is made up of just atoms and the void. So moon as atoms is a compensation for money being given by us to charities for happy endings, for not just us but for other people too. Moon, therefore, is a bought or earned peace for all, earned being defined as what we plan on doing, how we use our money to help out charities who can help the victims of, say, schizophrenia, cancer, AIDS, and rape, and other charities too. I thought of my book, The Very Best Childhood, which is this book right here, and I thought of received wisdom as is the very best childhood. In one of my readings of it. But the void, which is M.O.A.T, is as a happy ending to any history. Moon, which is connected with every nation demilitarized, or END, with that cause. Moon is as the signs from the future, which provide detailed instructions on how to achieve global demilitarization for world peace. It's kind of like a reverse engineering of a utopian future, coming from different kinds of signs that are out there that the future sends back into our time so that we can learn from those signs and create this idea of global demilitarization for world peace. The past history is on the side of M.O.A.T. If that past history turns into a happy ending, and future time signs are the causes for the Moon project. So the signs coming from the future bring into the Moon project its purpose, its cause, and people follow those signs like instructions, kind of like people followed the coat suggestions in order to achieve a happier ending of history. So this is how the past connects with the future, how these two projects are interconnected and aligned. So reading, which is literacy, is kind of more of a M.O.A.T idea, and getting along better with other people is a Moon idea. And that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching.